Hello, welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network. I'm Rick Anthony. It isn't often I get to meet entrepreneurs who have made it to the summit of entrepreneurship, ABC's wildly popular Shark Tank. They regularly audition around the country inviting aspiring entrepreneurs to pitch with the hope that they will make the cut to present to the 5 sharks who sit in judgment of whether or not the ideas have merit and are worthy of investment. The competition is fierce, as you might imagine. And I've known of other people who have made it through the first, second, or third stage, didn't quite make the last one when you're invited to go out to California and wait in line again to present. My guest today made it through that labyrinth. Gary Richard is an inventor and founder of GPR Product Development in Danvers, Massachusetts. Jay Gardiner is vice president of sales and everything else. The product they got that got them to the Shark Tank is called Cappy. It is brilliantly simple, as you will see in just a few moments. You may have seen it in Bed Bath & Beyond in different parts of the country with the expectation that it will be in all of Bed Bath & Beyond stores nationwide. Gary and Jay, Gary, welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network.
My pleasure, Rick.
Pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Happy to have you here while you're in town. You are here from Massachusetts for the day or overnight. Hopefully you'll be back for our meeting next week of the Entrepreneurs Network.
We're looking forward to it.
I'm not sure where to begin because we have all this stuff on the table, but it is all part of a really terrific story. Gary, what is your background, and has your career been a straight line from whatever it was you decided to do when you were a kid and then got through college, and now you are a full-time inventor, entrepreneur, wild man?
I'm still not sure, what I
you
want to do
when you grow up.
Right. So
as long as you're having fun.
That's right. I majored in business, and but I've always had this creative side to me, and just like to find a solution to things that need enhancement. Everything can always be improved on. So I've got some products out there that have gotten some attention.
My experience in the 15 years or so that I've been doing the Entrepreneurs Network, the venue we have where we tee up early stage companies, is that people like you have a special talent for spotting a need and then figuring out a really simple solution. I've seen so many of them in the past, and the really good ones, the brilliant ones, are simple.
Right.
And the kind of simplicity other people like me say, why didn't I think of that?
Right.
I'm sure you've heard that before.
Many a time.
Many
Then they follow it up. You should be on that TV show track.
Jay, what's your background and how did you connect with Gary?
Yeah, sure. Well, again, I'm also from central Massachusetts, and my path was a little bit different. I spent 30 years in government. Actually, my training was in public health and public administration, Commissioner of Health and Human Services up in Massachusetts. And after a long tenure in government, I moved over into academics at Anna Maria College, and I ran a nonprofit. It was actually public safety for children. It's called the Molly Bish Center. And in that time, we had a whole diverse portfolio of programs for child protection. And one of them actually was one that Gary and I still work on, and it's something that he also invented. It is a modernization, a simplification, as you talked about, Rick, for license plates called the EZID program. So it wasn't a linear path for either one of us to come to this, and but it's been interesting. I think your audience is truly going to enjoy what they see. There is no one who hasn't, above the age of 3, who hasn't opened a beverage can. The problem is, and Gary figured this out, is you can't close the can.
Right.
Once that seal is broken,
yes,
you're not able to close the can until this guy came along.
Do you have any idea of how much product is wasted because you can't close the can?
No, just anecdotally. So that one of the features, we talk about this and we'll show this in a minute. So we talk about it personalizes the can, it extends the freshness, no bugs and bees. But it also, and it's interesting, a simple little product, very inexpensive and very practical, actually saves money.
Yeah.
We've all had, I certainly have 3 young children. You dump at the end of any cookout, tailgate party or holiday party, you're dumping out those beverage cans because, in fact, they're not identified, it was misplaced, what have you. this personalizes the beverage can.
Every holiday party. We have 15 grandchildren.
Right, so that you know exactly
yes.
right.
And so we always have a magic marker there, or several magic
Something
markers.
to personalize.
Put your name, put your initial on
Right.
the can or the cup or whatever.
But
don't waste an open can.
Exactly. Well, this solves all of the above very simply and efficiently.
We don't have those parties anymore.
But
For that reason?
but to a dollar amount, I don't know that I can put economics behind the wasted product.
Must be a huge number.
It is. But here's a very interesting data point: over actually a half a billion beverage cans are sold every day, just in the United States. Half a billion. So think about that: 500 million today. It's
right.
500 million tomorrow. The problem is you can't close the can.
That includes soda and beer and
wine, now
all
it's
kinds of beverages.
energy drinks,
Yes.
lemonades,
Okay.
even now to the point of waters. Now, the beverage can. We think about the beverage can. People have moved somewhat to plastic bottles, but quite frankly, the beverage can, when we think about it, easily chilled,
Yes.
stacks,
Yep.
doesn't break,
Right.
environmentally friendly. So there's so many features where, the recycling component and beyond. Really, this is what they want to use. Unfortunately, I think that drawback has been not being able to close the can.
Let's show and demonstrate the CAPPY, C-A-P-P-Y. Please take a can,
sure.
your average can,
So, you wanna take
and,
it? Go ahead, right there.
Let's
This is
let-
your-
All right,
yeah.
sure.
okay?
Okay. You have an open side.
If you could raise it a little bit because, okay. That's
Sure. Okay. There's an open side to the cappy, and you only use that once because you only open the can once. It easily slides under the tab, lift to open. Women love that, just even for their nails. We've gotten orders from nail salons just for that reason. Then you simply turn it over, and everybody has their own color. There's 12 individual colors,
Right.
and of course there's adornments that you can put on there to enhance it as well. Then with a simple spin of the tab, you close the can.
And there's pressure
Yes.
from the tab,
Right, because
which helps to seal.
yeah, so when you hold
Yes.
that up, it's when you open the
Right.
tab, it stays up at an angle. But when you spin that around, it dives down.
Yep.
So I use that to create that compression.
So you took advantage of something that was already built in. And
use
into
what
the
was
can.
there to your advantage.
Right.
Yes.
And does that actually seal?
It will.
The opening?
It extends the freshness. Like if I put this on an iced tea, I've actually turned it upside down with nothing coming up. But we don't want people, doing that type of thing. But it's dishwasher safe, child safe for all ages. It has it's keychain ready, FDA compliant. It's virtually indestructible.
And we have an array of cans here on display, different sizes.
Right. So it fits all the sizes.
I didn't realize that the opening, regardless of the size of the can, is uniform, or is it?
No, that
It
can
varies
That can
somewhat.
vary. And,
It can
and,
vary.
and we actually adjusted early in the renditions of we actually widened the channel of the cappy to fit to the squared off tabs. The energy drinks now a little bit wider. So this now fits all standard size cans. The energy drinks, the Arnold Palmer, all the different drinks, you can have this. This isn't
Okay, so there is the utility of the CAPPY.
sure.
It saves product, it extends the life of the product, saves money. But it provides enormous array of retailing, promotional, branding opportunities.
Well, no question. This is how we have it packaged right now.
All right.
So this is what you'd see you're going to see in the warm beverage aisle.
Yes.
Okay. You'll see this in a number of different retail outlets. We fully expect that not only this would be available. We also put this because some venues, like the convenience stores, you might not want to pick up a 4-pack. So now we have in a single format. So in a fishbowl format, right at the counter.
Right.
So that you would then have this very easy to go. You picked up, you're going to go golfing, boating, fishing.
And that is one unit?
That is one unit,
And what's the retail on that?
99 cents.
And the retail on that, approximately?
It varies store to store. They kind of put their own pricing on that, but it's sometimes anywhere from $2.99, $3.99, $4.99.
The point is you can provide any type of package depending upon the distribution channel.
Well, yeah, to include Amazon, we can do a volume pack. We can do now it comes in, Gary just mentioned,
Yeah.
12 colors. we'll do a volume pack on Amazon to show that now, okay, listen, now we have 12 colors available to you. So we want to make sure that, here's the bottom line, anywhere beverages cans are sold, we want the Cappy will positioned for that.
Gary, what was the impetus? Where did the idea come from? It had to be a personal experience you had.
Yeah, my father's family came from Canada, and they loved their beer, and they loved to throw horseshoes. So we always, once a year, had this family reunion, and they'd go down, and they would be throwing the horseshoes, and the dust would be going, the bugs would be everywhere, and they'd even put it down on the ground. So they didn't get enough from the air.
Yeah.
You know, they had you know, additional crawly things all over there. And I'm the only one with a red cup over mine. I said, you guys are nuts. And I said, well, there's got to be a better way. There's always a better way to, you know, to solve a problem like that. So I invented that, and you know, and soon you'll see something for bottles.
Well, go back over, I invented that. How many iterations of that were there before you came up with a final product that was worth commercializing?
Well, yeah, it didn't used to have the keychain accommodation, but by adding that, not only did it give the keychain readiness, but it also gave a greater torque in it. And it made it so that it was child safe. So it has no restrictions as far as age. It passes the under 3 choking hazard.
But as you were working the concept and developing prototypes and so on, to see what worked best, were you getting feedback from people to develop ideas that maybe we should add the keychain feature?
Well,
maybe the colors, et cetera.
I think that those were somewhat intuitive.
You were? You were smart enough to figure that out all by yourself.
But you bring up a very good point. And as when you're bringing a product to market, and this is new to us, we learned at our very first trade show, that we learned, national trade show. We were out in Arizona. We learned our packaging wasn't right. The packaging did not, brand new product, so it's not a modernization on an existing.
Yes.
We have 3 seconds to get the consumer's attention to say, what is this? This graphic was very small. It didn't identify, is it a potato chip closer? What is this?
Yeah.
So actually, we won a national trade show, top product of the trade show, came away from that. We backed away for about 3 months and redid our packaging to hopefully better illustrate that what, in fact, the function of the product. So you bring up a good point. There are there are refinements that have to happen over time, but the product itself, the function itself, really Gary had, but how we present this and how we present this.
Usually is what happens.
Exactly, consumer education. But we went to a show thinking we had a home run here, and we learned, and we did hit a home run. Instead, we still have to pull back for 3 months. So
I notice you're taking advantage of the fact, at least on that package, that it is made in the U.S.
We're very proud of that.
The flag, yeah.
Very proud of that. Many, to include some sharks that were on Shark Tank, and like I said, Gary, 2 offers. And, you know, we didn't, I don't know if we mentioned it, with 0 sales. Brought this onto Shark Tank, 0 sales, 2 offers. So your audience who would be familiar as yourself are familiar, that's very rare.
Very rare.
And we've been told to take this offshore. We can make this offshore, we can lower the price. Well, Gary, very committed, has a company, sold it to his son, very committed to manufacturing in the United States. So we're very proud of that flag. That's an important piece, and we hope the consumers will also.
It's commendable. We've had other people on the show who are promoting products made in the U.S., creating websites so people have access to a full array of products that are made in the U.S. There seems to be a trend. I hope there's a counter trend.
And the other point, my public health background, it's very important that we have complete control as far as the safety of this. This is FDA regulated. That's a new non-food contact surface. That sits right on the can tab. We have to make sure, with certainty, we know exactly what is in this product. It doesn't become adulterated.
And that's
anyway.
reusable.
Exactly. Dishwasher safe, almost indestructible. Really, you could run over that and put that in.
Now, Dan, let's talk about Shark Tank. What was that experience like?
That was quite an experience.
Do they prep you to make the presentation?
Yeah. They want to know.
So you open the doors, you walk down that long hall,
you
open another set of doors, and there they are in all of their magnificence.
That's right.
Waiting to beat you up.
And they did.
And they did.
Yeah, they're very good at that.
Who took the lead in beating you up?
Oh,
of the 5?
You know something?
Kevin didn't beat you up?
I'm sorry?
Kevin didn't beat you
Oh,
up?
they all beat me up. But it was hard to differentiate which one was just coming at me the most because it was coming from 5 different directions.
I would think Lori would love this.
Laurie wasn't on at the time. It was Barbara Corcoran.
Okay, the real
Yeah.
estate mogul. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. And Mark? Was
Mark Cuban was on there.
No,
yes.
not Mark Cuban. The other, isn't there another Mark on the other end?
No, that's Robert Hershey.
Robert, I'm sorry, Robert. Was he on that panel?
Yes, he was.
And Damien and Mark.
Damon.
Damon?
Damon
Okay,
John,
Damon.
yeah.
Okay. But on which issues did they attack you? The design, the price, the packaging, the what?
Yes. Yeah, they want to soften you up and get ready for you to see.
Why would you put yourself through that?
Well, actually, because of the nonprofit that we wanted, I wanted to.
What Jay mentioned.
Yeah, that was far more important than the product. So, went on there to see if.
So that was part of the pitch.
No, when I got the offer from Damon, the shotgun offer,
Yes.
and then I ultimately did the deal with Mark Cuban, which it didn't end up being realized, but. Afterwards, I said, I'll do the deal because it's going to help the nonprofit, and then I got a chance to talk about that. But the fact that the segment actually never aired, there's a few things that went on there which I probably shouldn't say on camera.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Nonetheless, the experience, the fact that you get that kind of validation from some very bright people who've been extraordinarily successful.
With 0 sales.
With 0 sales.
And 2 offers.
And
It's
2
almost
offers.
unheard of.
Yeah.
Now, not only the retail component, I think, and as you know, Damon John is very much into branding.
Yes.
So branding and co-branding. And look what this does, tremendous retail viability. But look at the opportunity that it can be
Oh, my
for
Lord.
branding.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I want to take, if you would please, show us the competition.
There was oh, I'm sorry.
Where have I heard that
you
before?
opened that one
Where
up.
have I heard
Right,
that?
right.
This is not
There
crowded
is
space.
no competition.
Yeah.
So,
If you would lift it a little bit again to get
sure. Okay. As
And
you
we'll
can
come in tight on this.
here's if you, for some reason, why you might want to change a can into a bottle rather than just buy a bottle out of the starting gate. You can, buy that. But all of these, as you can see, you basically wash what's ever on top of the can and swallow it. And then you have to wash that, and the portability, convenience factor, is lacking. Or you can just go with something like that.
What about cost? How does this compare to those?
Oh, far less expensive.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
And what is this package here?
This is a dozen of these, or you could have
I
a
see.
dozen, of these in a package this big.
Oh, I didn't realize that. These are just caps you put
Yeah, it
over,
makes it
over
pops
a
on.
bottle.
It would make a can into
I
a bottle.
see,
Now,
I see.
if you're out on the golf
Yeah.
cart or you're in
Yeah.
your car, now you have something that you drink. Now, what are you going to do with it? How sanitary-wise, functionality, convenience?
It's just not practical.
Now, can
It's
you
not
tell us which of these, if any of them, have really made a dent in the market?
Well, I think they sold quite a few of these because, again, this wasn't available.
Yeah.
So, what it does is it demonstrates the need
Yeah.
to be able to close a can.
So the distribution channels that are available for a product like this, we've already mentioned Bed Bath & Beyond. What are the others that you envision? Mass distribution of the product?
Sure.
Without imaging or branding other products?
Right. Just in retail space.
Right.
Honestly, we look at this as any grocery store.
So these should be in every
This would be a clip
Walgreens,
strip. You
every
can kind of
Walmart.
picture. Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually.
We're in 1,000 Albertsons right now.
Are you?
And we're in a number of convenience stores with the singles and all
Right.
that. We're probably in about 2,000 stores now.
But do you have to work through a broker to get that distribution?
A lot of times because a lot of companies will look at this and say it's a clip strip item. So we work with clip strip companies, but
Or
we do have
distributors,
distributors, and then that opens up. But when we go to trade shows, and without exception, all of the retailers said, we want this. We want this to come in. And so now we're working through, and we do have over half a dozen distributors that we're working with, but we're on the front edge of something that's going to really,
Okay.
you're going to see quite widely across the country.
Now, just to make the point, that's the plain vanilla. what I mean is various colors, but
Right.
no branding, no promotional, et cetera.
We're building the Cappy name. So this has the Cappy name, and that's what we're building, that brand.
But now talk about the opportunities
Yeah.
to partner with the NFL, some of the manufacturers of these products, et cetera. Where does that go?
I know. Look, here's Rick,
almost
here's what
infinite.
you know, that tab has been there for 30 years, right? And no one has done anything
Yeah.
with it. It's been there. Now, think about that real estate. That's truly right under the consumer's nose.
Yep.
So now if you were to have, you know, Anthony Group's name right there for 20 minutes that I'm drinking this,
Yes.
that imprints, and now I'm going to keep that. Now I'm going to put that on a Sprite. I'm going to put that in my office. So whether it's the commercial airline industry, you've mentioned some yourself, the cruise line industry,
Absolutely.
a hotel, it's really endless
It is.
where you can have that.
Let's show some of, we have some images we can
do.
pop up.
You know, we've mocked up a few, whether it's a beverage industry,
Right.
but it doesn't have to be. It could be a college team, a professional sports team, let's say a NASCAR.
Well, you have a mock-up of Anheuser-Busch.
We
Anheuser.
do. You'll see Ace Hardware is one that asked for that, but
That's the keychain and
the keychain they've asked. There's Anheuser-Busch that you're looking
right.
at now.
Okay. And there was another Monster,
Monster and Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yeah, those are mock-ups, but we have actually delivered, for a number of different companies. So like you said, it really is endless.
So you know when you go to so many times you're trying to promote your product, your company, your service, and they're always looking for something new. Is it a pen,
Yes.
a refrigerator magnet, something, a frisbee? This is something that truly
It
is
really does have its utility value.
No, real question. You'd put it in
And
your
a
car,
novelty.
at the
Yeah.
office,
Yeah.
novelty.
Yep.
So the promotional and marketing side of this, we're just dipping our toe into
Yes.
the water on that, but we're building the retail at the same time.
Is it fair to call you, would it be appropriate to call you an early stage company, or you're certainly not a startup? You're out of the blocks.
We're
You've
out
got
of the box,
product.
but we are really, I think that's well said.
Okay,
I think
but
we're
you
early
are
stage.
looking for funding.
We're pursuing funding now. Think about what's in front of us. This is a global product. We have two
Yes.
guys who have put this together, and,
Yeah.
and this will now go across the globe. So, yeah, we're looking for funding, and then more than anything, we're looking for smart money. We're looking for connections. We're looking
And
for
distributors, brokers, and and retailers out there that
Yeah.
like to
What
carry
is
the
it
product.
made of? What is the material?
It's a TPE. It's a thermoplastic elastomer.
Okay.
It's almost like a rubberized material,
All right.
but it's for indirect food contact surfaces.
Okay.
So it's FDA compliant. For that. And by the way, I should mention for my son's sake, Banner Industries, the company I did found, that I when you said where I came from, so they did want me to get that message in as well. Sponsored by.
This has enormous potential, but you are an inveterate inventor. I mean, so you see other opportunities for improvement. If God didn't complete the job, so Gary comes along and he's going to complete it.
I'm not sure I travel in those circles,
Now,
but
this has nothing to do with cans or can tops or
Right.
whatever. Where did this come from? Also with the American flag on it.
yes, this is an innovation for drumsticks that it's a metal insert that goes in the butt end of the stick, and what it does is it changes the tension of the stick. Everybody thinks it's just a counterweight,
Right.
but it has a lot to do, with the tension of the stick. It makes it livelier, and it's all about rebound, so it comes back higher and faster, and as a result, you can play with less energy, and they play faster. So
It's for old people then.
it's for everyone, and so you don't get older. And it won the Best New Stick in the World award, the MEPA award, and then Drum
Wait a
Magazine's
minute,
Drummy Award.
There is an international competition for the best drumstick?
Well, it's 40
When I
music
first heard that, I was sure you were talking about a chicken leg or, or a turkey leg.
Yeah. No, they vote on 40 music product categories. It's 115 of the world's largest music magazines. And in this one, and then Drum Magazine, they polled the drummers themselves, and they won the Drummy Award. So I licensed that to Vic
Wow.
Firth, the world's largest drumstick company, and they come in 5 A's and 5 B's, and yeah, they really work work
What's
well.
a 5A and a 5B?
It's actually the different diameter and,
Oh,
and
okay.
length. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the most common configuration that
Not
they use.
quite as exciting as
If you were a drummer,
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. The market size is a little bit different.
right. But a bing.
Exactly. but this here, Rick, well, it's tremendous. So you're spot on when you say Gary looks at things,
Yeah.
and he has this, and there's many in the pipeline. The company is GPR Product Development. And when I say product development, there are a number of things, and actually a companion product for this, for bottles, that are in the pipeline in various stages of development. You know, Gary will not, he doesn't call himself an inventor, but quite frankly, he is.
Oh, he
He's an
is.
inventor.
And I'm always curious about the creative process because it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So how do you turn on the creative juices? What kind of stimulation do you need to come up to first look at the world in ways other people don't, see needs and opportunities, and then figure out how you can solve somebody's problem, as you did with this?
Rick, I don't turn it on. I can't turn it off.
That's very good. Very good. That's a great answer. You can't turn it
I
off.
can't turn it off.
It's in there.
Everything can be improved upon.
You know, you're sick.
Yes.
Are you on medication?
What time is it?
But people look at this and they'll say, you know, as you did, this is genius. But the genius,
Yeah.
it's the simplicity
It
of it.
is
It's been there. They
brilliantly
say, geez,
simple.
why didn't I think of this?
Exactly.
So who would be in the market for something like that? So in your car, the office,
Everybody.
boating, fishing,
Yeah.
hiking, backyard parties, and beyond. You say, well, this is a nice little. It's not only is it fun, saving money, but you say, well, this is something I would use. Sure, it'd be my golf bag,
Sure.
it'd be my fishing, my
Absolutely.
tackle box. I'd put it on my boat.
It floats, by the way.
It's it's a stocking stuffer. So many different places.
Yes.
So we're having, in saying this, it's a big climb. It's for us to get this out. It's a lot of work, but I'm telling you, we're having a lot of fun with it because the consumer is so excited about it. They really are.
When we walked in the studio, George Strimble, who was the general manager, he said, what did he say?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliantly simple.
We see that so many times.
Yeah.
They're excited about it. They want to say,
Yes.
"Oh, I want it. Oh, geez, this would be perfect in
Yeah.
such and such a situation." So, is it a tremendous economic opportunity? We hope so, and we're working very hard. We're working very hard in that regard. But
Well,
it's having some fun with it as well.
I don't think there's any question. You will reach an inflection point, and it will just take off. It'll become viral. I certainly hope that's what happens. You deserve the break. I can't thank you enough for coming in and agreeing to give us some time today in your busy schedule while you're in the Philadelphia area. I hope you'll come back with a success story and with the next great simple idea you come up with.
Which you might
It's
be
already
seeing a
in-
little while after the show.
Rick, we appreciate this opportunity, and we promise you we'll be back.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
So much.
Well, you've seen it here for the first time, the Cappy. So watch for it in your supermarkets or any place else they serve or sell these kinds of convenience items. Until next time, this is the Entrepreneurs Network. I am Rick Anthony. Take very good care of yourselves.